Right, 6 o'clock. Pledge.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just remember to silence your cell phones, please. I'll start with roll call. Mayor Sherman. Here. Councilor Horton.
Here.
Councilor Scalise.
Here.
Councilor Skiles.
Here.
Councilor Spradlin.
Here.
Councilor Tyree. Very good. Approval of the agenda. Is there any additions or corrections for the agenda tonight? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve.
I move we approve the agenda for the regular meeting of March 9th, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilor Skiles.
Yes.
Councilor Horton.
Yes.
Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Spradlin.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman. Yes. All right, that motion passes. Approval of the minutes. Do we have any corrections for the minutes from last meeting? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve.
I move we approve the regular meeting of February 23rd, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilor Scalise.
Yes.
Councilor Horton.
Yes.
Councilor Spradlin.
Yes.
Councilor Skiles.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman. Yes. All right, it's approved. All right, visitors and delegations. We have a couple guys here from Kids at Their Best. Go ahead and come on up and introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing on this warm morning?
Good.
Good. My name is Diego. This is my partner, Abdi. We're from a nonprofit called Kids at Their Best. Just to ask for a little bit of your time to tell you about us and tell you about a couple opportunities. So, we're based off the northeastern plains of Colorado. We have 13 local pantries in northeastern Colorado, 11 schools, 1 senior center, and 1 Eastern African pantry. We have an after-school program that's focused towards STEM, just teaching kids about just helping them with their homework and keeping them up to date with stuff. We also attend with our AmeriCorps members. Abby here is an AmeriCorps member. I'm also an AmeriCorps member. As AmeriCorps members, we do a lot of stuff at Kids at Their Best. We help with the food pantries, we help with the after-school programs, we help with the summer programs. We just get to do a lot. Like I said, another thing that we do is that what we're most known for is our summer program. It's where we get to hang out with kids during the summer, have water balloons, let kids be kids again, you know, just take them off their parents' hands for a little bit too, you know. Another thing we do is YHDP. It's aimed to reducing the numbers of youth experiencing homelessness. Today we're here to tell you guys about our Northeast World Philanthropy Days. It's an event that we have towards July 10th.
And for 30 years, the CRC has connected world leaders and funders through World Philanthropy Days. This conference brings funding, training, and connections to rural communities, sponsoring the Northeast Philanthropy Days. This helps nonprofits and they strengthen Colorado overall.
So basically, we're just here to tell you guys about a couple sponsorship opportunities that we'd love for you guys to check out. We brought a couple flyers to about a little more information about the event and just, of course, the sponsorship opportunities. You are?
Thank you.
Of course. Of course, thanks again, guys, for your time. We appreciate everything.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming.
No problem.
I did have one question. So Kids at the Best in Brush, where is it located at in Brush? And then
So
for the summer, what's the program?
So Kids at the Best is in Fort Morgan. The summer programs, what?
We
in
have
Brush?
a STEM venture here and a summer blast program. They both at Beaver Valley.
At Beaver Valley?
Yeah.
Okay. And what age kids are those for?
And the staff or the kids that can
The
attend?
kids that go?
I think anyone can come if they're not the age of, if they're not newborns or 1 year old.
When it comes to our summer program, when it is our STEM program, we have, I believe it's 1st grade through 5th grade, and we of course have our program over at the middle school, which goes through 3rd grade to 8th grade. And for the more intel about the STEM program, we hang out with the kids. do help them with their homework. We have cool stuff like 3D printers where they get to mess around with stuff like that. Me and Avi run the podcast, which is another cool thing. They get to mess around with the podcast and how to make podcasts. We do, of course, a lot of activities like about the Oregon Trail, just making rockets, just keeping them situated and involved with school and staying involved with STEM.
How many kids from Brush go to these ones in Brush, would you guess?
Do you know what
I'll
our time
probably
is?
say 30 kids at most, but it can be above that.
Our STEM program or our summer program?
Both.
So our summer program, how much did you guys average?
Last year at the STEM Ventures one, I think we averaged over 60 kids. The summer one, when I was working here, 15.
15 kids.
Yeah.
And the summer one is basically 2-year-olds to,
Summer can be, I think, just anybody, little kids, you know, they
Yeah.
want to come to the park. Anybody who goes to the park, basically. We'll give them a meal. So the main purpose of our summer blast program is our summer meal program. So there's a lot of kids who rely on lunch or school year to eat, you know? They're not able to go home and just eat whenever they want. They're not going to have access to food. So another thing that we keep going is through the summer, we have our our summer program. We'll provide meals for the kids. Like I said, we'll hang out with them, water balloons, we'll play soccer. We'll do a bunch of different kinds
What are
of
the
activities.
hours usually for that?
Do you know
9 to 1.
9 to 1?
and what about the STEM program? What are the hours for that?
STEM one. Usually, if it's school hours, it'd probably
Oh,
be
it's after school.
yeah.
Okay.
But in the summer, I would say 1 to 3. That's
Could we do also run our STEM program during the summer? Just
Mhm.
another way to keep the kids involved and keeping them active with STEM during the summer, make sure they're not forgetting everything, you know?
Mhm.
Any
Awesome.
further questions?
Do you allow parents to come to be with the kids, or
During our summer program or STEM program?
summer?
Summer program? I believe they're allowed to hang out. Like I said, it's at the park, it's at the public park, so anybody who's gonna be there is gonna be there, of course. But mainly it'll be, because our whole program is based off of hiring kids. A lot of our staff is just anybody who's under 18. You know, teenagers. It's just a great way for them to learn responsibilities and just get involved with the community. So I wouldn't really say that they're not allowed to be there. Of course they are there, but most of the time, typically, it's our staff handling all the kids.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
guys.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, do we have anybody else here for citizen comments? It does not look like it. Okay, so we'll move on to management. We've got a resolution, looks like Tyler's gonna tell us about.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. So before you is a resolution that we had discussed at our previous work session regarding the fees over at the Community Development Department, specifically for our building permit fees, some modification, changes, additions, and increases to some of those fees. And so bringing this to council, requesting formal approval tonight on the resolution. And if approved, we will adopt these as of April 1st.
You're good. Does anybody have any questions for Tyler?
Nope.
No. I would look for a motion on this resolution.
I move we approve resolution number 2026-5, a resolution amending building permit fees of the Brush Municipal Code, adopting and updating fee schedule.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Skiles,
Yes.
Counselor Horton,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Finance.
I move we approve disbursements and payroll for February 24th, 2026 through March 9th, 2026, totaling $776,924.33.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Horton,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Skiles,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, that motion passes. Staff reports. Tyler Purvis.
All right, handful of things tonight. Real quick, Kids at Their Best, they just presented, but adding on to that. So two of my kids have actually been working for Kids at Their Best for the last couple of years. So the variety of programs they have over there, or everywhere, are phenomenal. The after-school program is currently going on now over at Beaver Valley, I think from ages 6 to 11. Any kids are welcome there unless they're bad kids, which they have those every now and then, and they have had to ask them to come back. But generally, the kids are fun. My kids come home with a lot of good stories. And then, of course, the summer programs, they've been a part of those too. And so, a great opportunity. I've driven by when our kids couldn't drive, dropping them off and picking them up. And they would tell me about the things that they would do. And it's a great resource that I wish more people knew about and utilized, because sometimes there was just a couple of kids there when there's scores and scores of kids all day just kind of sitting around playing video games or twiddling their thumbs. And so I encourage parents to have conversations about that with their friends, and that being a resource for the community. They also mentioned Rural Philanthropy Days. I've been a little bit involved with that, and that is a great resource for nonprofits in the community. So if anybody in the community is involved with a nonprofit or knows someone who is, if they could get that on their radar, it's a great opportunity. Essentially, they go around the state throughout the year. They rotate every year, and so Northeast Colorado is up for bat this year, and they connect potential foundations and funders with communities and all the things they're trying to tackle in their community, but typically funding is an issue. And so they facilitate discussions, they bring advice and direction and training for nonprofits, but they have the opportunity to talk with representatives from these big foundations and say, this is what we're working on, we could use some financial support. They don't all get it, but some do. That's a great resource to support some local efforts in tackling some of the community challenges that communities have, including here in Brush. Number 3, I mentioned at our last staff meeting, I'll give a quick update on it. So our regional hazard mitigation plan, last time I spoke that week, we were having a meeting, which we had, and so it continues to evolve. Essentially, there's all these different hazards that could happen. Some of them aren't relevant, like an earthquake so much in Brush, Colorado, certainly not a hurricane. But ones that are relevant, like extreme temperatures or flooding or hail or tornadoes or other events, is looking at what the vulnerabilities are in the community. And as part of this plan, we're required to have at least one mitigation plan or project for each one of the potential hazards. And so we'll be working on that again over the next couple of weeks and being a part of that regional work. Number 3, just an FYI for the community, specifically those in mobile homes. If you are in a mobile home and you ever want to do any projects that would be like an addition or building some type of, anything that's fixed to the ground, it is required that written approval is gotten from the property owner, which would be the mobile home park owner. A lot of times people say, well, this is mine, so I can do what I want, but the ground is not theirs, and so written authorization is needed. And we're finding a few little nuances that need to be clarified with the mobile home park owners as well, as far as the process is required from the state, from county, as well as from us, and that goes from moving mobile homes to and from or in and out of parks for the permitting through the county as well. The state is in charge of all the inspections for the homes now themselves as they get traveled around. The Department of Housing, locally, of course, if they're going to do any type of work itself, that goes through our office. But a lot of things, I think, through the years, people just were trying to, we do whatever we want, but it's not the case. And not only that, but rules are tightening up a little bit more because of issues that have happened from all those different jurisdictions I spoke about. So everybody can reach out to our office for more information on that. And then lastly, just a community update. We have an event this Saturday, 2 events this Saturday. We have our St. Patty's Day run for anybody who likes to be healthy and wants to get moving. It's an annual event, which is a great opportunity to get out and have fun. And then later that afternoon is the Morgan County Makers Market downtown. From 2 to 8, they're going to have vendors, live music, family-friendly games, craft station for kids, giveaways, of course, food and drink from vendors, and their little summary is celebrate St. Patty's Day with your community, support local makers, and enjoy festive surprises around every corner. Grab your friends, bring the whole family, and join us for a day packed with joy, creativity, and good luck. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Flecksteiner.
Evening. Just a few staff reporting items to cut on. First, we did find a replacement CSO, so CSO Duran is getting deployed to National Guard. She's anticipated to be gone from April until next year. So in lieu of that, we found somebody that's going to take that replacement that's going to have her covered, so we still maintain her through CSO. So really glad that we found someone relatively quickly. The Flockale PRs are still being worked on. They're still in the permitting / scheduling phase, so nothing has been implemented and put in place yet. We're still waiting for those to come into place. Regretfully, our sworn recruiting didn't go very well this last round, so because of that, instead of continuing to kick the iron trying to find somebody sworn, we are moving forward with a couple of academy prospects this coming summer. So obviously it kind of prolongs us being shorthanded, but again, I think it's beneficial to find the right people for it, and I'd rather find the right people and take a little bit more time than try to find someone that's not going to fit very well for our culture. Lastly, I've had my staff kind of discuss e-bikes a little more often. Primarily see a lot of kids that are riding them carelessly and running stop signs, just riding them improperly. So we're going to start a movement to try to talk to these kids. One, to identify what kind of e-bikes they're riding on, because there's 3 classifications per state. So we want to make sure the kids are following the rules, the ones that they're supposed to be riding. So depending on if it's class 1, 2, or 3, there's different regulations that the state requires that we also follow up on. So if we come across kids that are riding them inappropriately, we're going to make contact with them and at least identify and make sure kids are doing what they're supposed to. I also ask community members, if you see kids out there riding around, obviously I think it's a case that the kids aren't having to pedal. It doesn't create as much physical stress as a regular bike does, so they just zip on and keep going. And because it also has the same amount of power, we've had contact with kids that had 2 or 3 kids on top of an e-bike with one that's actually monitoring. So obviously if a kid's huffing and puffing and pedaling really hard, they're probably not going to carry 2 or 3 of their friends, but when it's an electric bike, they're doing things a little bit more carelessly. So we ask community members, if you see kids out riding around and you see them doing things, give us a call and we'll make contact with them. We're not trying to, hem kids up with a lot of tickets or anything, but we just want to make sure they're handling themselves safely. That way we don't have any car crashes and any injuries or fatalities or anything like that. So we'll also do another Facebook post to kind of identify it, let people know out there, because it's created a lot of buzz around it, and it seems like, I don't know if the bikes are just becoming considerably more cost affordable, so yet a lot more kids are having them now. So but, I'm available for any questions or comments. I know I haven't been here for the last few meetings, so.
Have you seen a lot of accidents or injuries from those e-bikes yet?
No,
Not
we
too
haven't.
bad.
Primarily just citizen complaints. A lot online. Yeah, so.
I saw what looked to be like about an 80, 85-year-old riding not an e-bike, but an e-trike with the 2 tires in the back. So now you have those bikes too.
Yep. Invariably, we do kind of have a tendency to keep an eye for these folks, because we do have, it's not uncommon for us to have people that have lost licenses try to circumvent things and not using bicycles and use some other kind of motor fashion to get them around rather than riding a bicycle. So we do have a tendency to find folks like that and make contact with them, making sure they're not just trying to get away from having to have to get a license.
There was literally kids at the skate park today.
Yep.
Like 3 on one bike jumping at the
Oh
skate
my
park.
gosh.
Yeah, that was one, the question that came up just today was Officer Wells had contacted those 3, because all 3 of them just blew through a stop sign and he had to slam on his brakes to keep from hitting them, and just like, nope, made him stop. And I'm like, okay, now you guys are going to push it over there because you guys aren't riding it very well. So these are just some of the things, unfortunately, we're seeing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, Fire Chief York.
Just a few items. So the renovation of the meeting room is complete. So we have carpet down in the whole meeting room. They changed out light fixtures, and people that have gone in thought we changed out the whole lighting system, and all we did was change out the cover.
Nice.
And they just realized how in the dark we were actually working. And then new flooring in the entryway. So that has been completed and looks really good. So.
Nice.
And then today was a busy day for the guys. Ran 2 grass fires. One of them was over 100 acres, and then the structure fire. So it's a busy day.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'll answer any questions anybody has.
That was a fire down south.
2 fires down south. One at the county line, 71 and A, and then 71 and L.
No structures lost there.
No. Nope.
Did the farmers bring out their discs and
We
everything?
did have one disc on the one at L.
Oh, so-
Did the moisture kind of help that we got? No?
No.
Was
So
it,
the one on L started from a control burn from the day before.
Oh, wow.
And when they called us, they said it was like a 10 by 10 area. And by the time we got out there, it had crossed the road and
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
was going. So it's going to be, if we don't have a very wet spring, it's going to be a very long summer, not only out here, but across the state. So we'll be, if we don't have a wet spring, the state of Colorado will be down on the state of California for resources. So.
Maybe our rec department can do a rain dance or something.
Because we've already had, some significant grass fires already.
Yeah.
So we mutuated on the one that started in Will County that moved into Morgan County. That went over, I forget what, I think they estimated it like 15,000 acres. And then they had the one down by Lyman that I think ended up being 19,000 acres, so.
Jeez.
Ray, what's your staffing like right now?
So we're close to our max, so we have another one in the hiring process, Officer Riggs from Brush PD applied.
Nice.
So looking forward to getting him on. He doesn't think he'll pass a physical agility test, so I don't know what PD's doing.
We're not gonna make fun of him.
But no, he'll be fine. So staffing wise, we're in a good spot. Everybody's still active, so.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Looks like Lorenzo's next.
The only thing I have to report tonight is the deadline for the Counselor Ward 2 letters to fill that vacancy is March 18th. So far, we have one letter that's been received. I've heard some interest from some other folks, but I haven't seen letters from them just yet. I'm hoping right now to have the counselor candidates here at the next meeting for the meeting and interviews with council. That's still kind of up in the air, so I will let you know as I know.
Very good.
That's all I have unless there are questions.
Thank you. All right, Jacob.
Thank you. For the next meeting, I'll have a wildfire resiliency code adoption for you guys. Still doing a little bit of research on probably like to pick your brain, just make sure I'm doing everything right with you. And then it's just good to be out here. It's been too long, so.
It's been a
Happy
while
to answer
since
any
we've
questions.
seen
No?
Got nothing.
you. Thank you for coming. All right, Monty.
Okay, just a few items. The first one is Lance Schwint. He had a meeting with some community members about swimming pool. Our swimming pool is 60-plus years old, and every year it's just a little more maintenance that we have to do with that pool, and it's pretty antiquated, and then the pool house is, it's truly a 60-70-year-old building, block building. Doesn't look the best, and so these meetings are going to slowly, eventually coming into the council, the members of that, just asking for consideration to move a swimming pool project forward. I would anticipate throughout the rest of this year a few more meetings and trying to get direction on if we should hire a company to help us do a ballot question, or should we do a ballot question on our own, how we should tackle that after we meet with the council. Get direction there, and then we'll see where it goes. But at some point, gotta do something with the pool. So more to come on that one. And he had a group of, I think, 14 people that attended the first meeting, and then that's gonna slowly build up over time. And so if anyone's interested, they can get in contact with Lance on when the next meeting's gonna be. We talked about water, our water situation for the city of Brush. We're in an okay position, I call it. You know, good thing we got a little bit of moisture over the weekend, or I guess that was Friday, so that helps out a little bit. But we need a pretty wet spring, like the fire chief said, you know, not just to take away some of the risk of fire, but just refill our well fills, you know, so we charge them. And like I said, we're in okay position, but still we really need to urge council, citizens, businesses, just conserve water where they can, just to be a little bit ahead of the curve on this one. And then we'll know more in the next couple of months how things are gonna play out for the summer, but let's just cross our fingers there. Other items are, police department, chief is interested in was interested in the used vehicle, from another police department. And I kind of lean away from used vehicles if we can. So we're probably going to look at a different option of maybe another lease purchase on a different vehicle. But I just had a call from another governmental agency here in the county. And police vehicles are, depending on what type you get, can be a year, year and a half out before you can get them. And so we're just looking at other ways that we can get them a little bit quicker. So we might be looking at an additional one this year. Still have to do a little more work on that. Then also, Brandon and some of his staff has approached me about a police dog. And we had that in the budget. My understanding was a little bit high number in the budget, but then the police department thinks they can get a police dog and maybe retrofit one of their vehicles for a police dog. So we're looking at that now, and we had an opportunity of a couple dogs that were local and then that were evaluated, but it might be a better option just to get a dog through the program, one that was started in the program and they kind of know where it came from, its history. So we're talking about that now, and probably by the next meeting we'll have a decision made there. Other thing is, I did start up a little different type meeting. So once a quarter, I just invite any employee that wants to sit down with me. We meet up at the golf course. We started that about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and had 2 employees. It's just a time to come in and ask any questions you want, whether direction, where the city's going, if they have ideas of how the city can be better, or if they just had questions about things in general. So it was really actually a good meeting. I enjoyed it. The 2 meetings that I had, and we'll offer that once a quarter for any employees that want to come and just visit, see what's going on in the city. So great ideas came out of those conversations, and also clearing up whether a rumor or something that we've done in the past is giving more information was really helpful. So we'll do that on or off. And everything else is in executive session or work session.
All right, thank you. Mayor and council reports. Any councilors have anything to report? No. All right, then I would look for a motion to go into executive session.
We gotta read the whole thing?
Yep.
I move we go into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes Title 24, Article 6, Section 402 at subsection 4E for determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators. The matter to be discussed is incentives for a potential business and pursuant to Title 24, Article 6, Section 402 at subsection 4A for the purchase, acquisition, lease, transfer, or sale of any real, personal, or other property interest. The matter to be discussed is the acquisition of land.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Counselor Horton,
Yes.
Counselor Skiles,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, that motion passes. We will go into executive session. You guys are welcome to stick around for adjournment later. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's mine. That's the prison number.
It's like, why? It's a budget, I'm like, uh-oh, it's gone.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Dan has a statement.
So, my name is Dan Crawl, I'm the city attorney. I'll note for the record, the time's now 7:02. We're coming out of an executive session. I was present throughout. The scope of the discussions were within the scope of the statute, and as the city attorney, the attorney-client privilege attaches. Thank you.
And we don't have anything to make a motion on, so I would just look for a motion to adjourn and move into work
I
session.
did have one quick report item I forgot to mention.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's, I went to a conference this last weekend, Friday and Saturday, and one of the topics was about community gardens. And just a few people brainstorming. I told them, you know, we've tried it in the past, but we had people fighting at the community garden,
Mhm.
the plots and everything. One person wanted to take over the community garden. But one of the discussions I had was potentially getting with the churches in town and seeing which churches might have an interest in starting up a community garden. There used to be one over on Emerson or Princeton, west side of town. They had started one years ago, then it kind of went away. But I'm gonna work with Lance and we're gonna just get a meeting with some of the churches and see is there any churches that have an interest in that for the congregation and the public, and see if there's anything we can do. And if we did that, we maybe do a little bit of seed money to help them get it started, and that would be a community enhancement type project.
Cool. Very good, thank you. All right, now I can have a motion to adjourn and move into work session.
So moved.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Woo-hoo. Any opposed? Okay.
All right, good news is the first item on work session, community updates and direction. Tyler and I were gonna have this ready by tonight, but we don't have it ready quite yet, so we're just gonna ask the council. Well, first, we did this about a year or so ago. It's where we brought the Google Earth map and